Peace and blessings, everyone. Hope everyone's having an amazing, the week just started, but hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone had a good weekend, a nice way to relax and get refreshed, start anew. Either way, though, every day's going quick, so. But for those who are going on the, based off of Namibia or South Africa's seasons, I hope you did have an amazing Pesach or Passover and Feast of Unleavened Bread. The reason I bring that up is because for Sight to the Blind, Larry Johnson, he had his Passover and um, Feast of Unleavened Bread throughout this week. For me personally, I didn't do it. And, we all have our own reasonings, understandings, we're all trying to figure it out. We just gotta, allow Yah to whatever Yah's leading us to. That's what we need to focus on. I understand many people they mean well when they share scriptures and trying to show us and showing us what it means and this is how we're supposed to follow it and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, Yah is the one that's leading us, and He's going to direct our paths. If He doesn't have us focusing on so much on the feast days heavily, maybe He's more focused on just making sure you are more clean and presentable. Like maybe He's just helping you with your vices or your struggles right now. He's helping you break through those, and He doesn't really have you focusing on His feast days. Everyone's walk is different, is basically what I'm trying to say. And so, with all that being said, I will say for Sight to the Blind, the reason he goes off in Namibia is because that's where, or South Africa, is because that's where um, Jerusalem is. It's not. We should all know by now. It's not in that other area. That, but anyways, though. So in South Africa, their their seasons are completely different from ours. Where right now we're moving into fall, they are in spring. I think I forget exactly what it is. Sorry, that's my keyboard. Um, I want to look it up real quick. Let me see. Can I get it? Just give me like 10 seconds, guys. I wish I had a better, I'm doing this off my phone, so Namibia. Namibia's maps now. Weather, seasons. My bad. My bad, you guys. Weather, seasons. There we go. Now it goes differently sometimes when you just. I'm looking at the AI overview, but then in other ones, it's a little different. But basically, though, the dry seasons are from May to October, and the wet seasons are from November to April. So pretty much in short, though, he what Sight to the Blind goes by is basically that September is the beginning of spring, and that's when our people were we were taken out of our captivity in the first month, and in that first month is spring on the other side of the world, but for us it would be over here in the Americas, it would be our fall season. So that's he's going based off everything. He's not going off of America. How he's doing his biblical feast days and stuff like that, it's all based on the timing of how everything is placed out in South Africa, is what I'm trying to say. So that's how he's doing things. And I haven't been strongly led to that yet. I mean, I listen to it and I don't reject him or anything like that. I just listen to it and I just keep on going where Yah is taking me. So aside from all that, hopefully I made that clear. But with all that being said, I wanted to jump into Jubilees chapter 2. And the reason why I want to jump into that is because I was reading about the Shabbat again. Just more information on how important his Shabbat, his Sabbath is to us. So now it's kind of long, but not too long as from other things I've made. I mean, I don't have to start from the beginning, but I guess I'll just read the whole chapter of chapter 2. Hopefully you guys listen to it. All that being said, I'm going to get started. Jubilees, chapter 2. And the messenger of the presence spoke to Moshe, according to the word of Yahuah, saying, write the complete history of the creation, how in 6 days Yahuah Elohim finished all his works, and all that he created, and guarded the Shabbat on the 7th day, and kodoshed it for all ages, and appointed it as a sign for all his works. For on the 1st day he created the Shayim, which are above, and the earth on the waters, and all the spirits which serve before him, the messengers of the presence, and the messengers of the Kodashah, holiness, or set apartness, and the messengers of the Kodashah, and the messengers of the spirit of the winds, and the messengers of the spirit of the clouds, and of the darkness, and of the snow, and of the hail, and of the hoarfrost, and the messengers of the voices, and of the thunder, and of the lightning, and the messengers of the spirits of cold, and of heat, and of winter, and of spring, and of autumn, and of summer, and of all the spirits of his creatures, which are in the Shayim, and on the earth, the abysses, and the darkness, evening and night, and the light, dawn and day, which he has prepared in the knowledge of his heart. And we look upon his works, and praise him, and exult before him, because of all his works. For 7 great works he created on the 1st day. Wonderful. And on the 2nd day he created the expanse in the midst of the waters, and the waters were divided. On the day of the half of them went up above, half of them went above, and half of them went down below the expanse in the midst over the face of the whole earth. And this was the only work created on the 2nd day. And on the 3rd day he commanded the waters to pass from off the face of the whole earth into one place, and the dry land to appear. And the waters did so, as he commanded them. And they withdrew from off the face of the earth into one place outside of this expanse, and the dry land appeared. And on that day he created for them all the seas according to their separate gatherings, and all the rivers, and the gatherings of the waters in the mountains on all the earth, and all the lakes, and all the dew of the earth, and the seed which is sown, and all sprouting matters, and fruit-bearing trees, and trees of forest, and the garden of Eden, in Eden, and all plants after their kind. These 4 great works Elohim created on the 3rd day. And on the 4th day he created the sun and the moon and the stars, and placed them in the expanse of the Shayim, Now, before I continue, I just want to say I've seen some people say that the sun and the moon and the stars, or I think just the stars, they're actually in the earth, or like under the veil, the expanse. But it says here that it's in the expanse of the Shyam. So to really put it basically, rather, for the expanse, the earth is here, the earth is this, and then, this is the expanse, rather than the stars and the sun and the moon all being at the top of the expanse, they're above it, if that makes sense. Hopefully that's a good illustration, whatever. I'm going to continue. I'm not trying to make this a 40-minute video. To give light upon all earth, and to rule over the day and the night, and divide the light from the darkness. And Elohim appointed the sun to be a great sign on the earth, for days and Sabbaths, and for months, and for festivals, and for years, and for Sabbaths of years, and for Yobelim, and for all seasons of the years. And it divides the light from the darkness for good, that all matters may thrive, sprout, and grow on the earth. These three kinds he made on the fourth day. And on the fifth day he created great Leviathan in the depths of the waters, for these were the matters of flesh that were created by his hands, the fish and all that moves in the waters, and all that flies, the birds and all their kind. And the sun rose above them to prosper them, and above all that was on the earth, all that sprouts out of the earth, and all fruit bearing trees, and all flesh. These three kinds he created on the fifth day. On the sixth day he created all the beasts of the earth, and all cattle, and all that moves on the earth. And after all this he created man and woman. He created them, and gave him rulership over all that is on the earth, and in the seas, and over all that flies, and over beasts, and over cattle, and over all that moves on the earth, and on the whole earth. And over all this he gave him rulership. And these four kinds he created on the sixth day. And there were altogether 22 kinds, and he finished all his work on the sixth day. All that is in the Shyam, and on the earth, and in the seas, and in the abysses, and in the light, and in the darkness, and in all. And he gave us a great sign, the Shabbat day, that we should work 6 days, but guard the Shabbat on the seventh day from all work. And all the messengers of the presence, and all the messengers of the Kodashah, these two great classes, he has hidden us to guard the Shabbat with him in the Shyam on the earth, and on earth. And he said to us, See, I shall separate unto myself a people from among all the peoples, and they shall guard the Shabbat day, and I shall kodosh them unto myself as my people, and shall barak them, as I have kodosh the Shabbat day, and kodoshed it unto myself. Even so shall I barak them, and they shall be my people, and I shall be their Elohim. And I have chosen the seed of Yaakov from among all that I have seen, and have written him down as my firstborn son, and have kodoshed him unto myself forever and ever. And I shall teach them the Shabbat day, that they may guard the Shabbat thereon from all work. And so he created therein a sign, in accordance with which they should guard the Shabbat with us on the seventh day, to eat and to drink and to barak him, who has created all matters, as he has barak and kodosh unto himself a treasured possession, a people above all peoples, and that they should guard the Shabbat together with us. And he caused his commands to ascend as a sweet fragrance, acceptable before him all the days. There were 22 heads of mankind from Adam to Jacob, and 22 kinds of work were made until the seventh day. This is Baruch and Kodosh. Informer also is Baruch and Kodesh. And this one serves with that one Kodeshah and Baraka. And to them, Jacob and his seed, it was granted that they should always be Baruch and Kodeshem of the first witness and Torah, even as he had Kodosh and Barak the Shabbat day on the seventh day. He created the Shayim and earth and all that he created in 6 days. And Elohim made the seventh day Kodesh for all his works. Therefore, he commanded for this reason, that whoever does any work on it shall die, and that he who defiles it shall certainly die. Therefore, you shall command the children of Yasharel to observe this day, that they may Kodesh it, and not do any work on it, and not to defile it, as it is more Kodesh than all other days. And whoever profanes it shall certainly die, and whoever does any work on it shall certainly die forever. That the children of Yasharel may observe this day throughout their generations, and not be rooted out of the land, for it is Kodesh. For it is a Kodesh day, and a Baruch day, and everyone who observes it and guards the Shabbat thereon from all his work shall be Kodesh and Baruch throughout all days like us. Declare and say to the children of Yasharel the law of this day, both that they should guard the Shabbat on it, and that they should not forsake it in the straying of their hearts, that it is not right to do any work on it which is improper, to do their own pleasure on it, and that they should not prepare whatever on it to be eaten or drunk, and to draw water, or bring in or take out through their gates any burden on it, which they had not prepared for themselves on the 6th day in their dwellings. And they shall not bring it, and they shall not bring in nor take out from house to house on that day. For that day is more Kodesh and Baruch than any Yobel day of the Jubileum. On this we guarded the Shabbat in the Shayim before it was made known to any flesh, to guard the Shabbat thereon the earth. And the Creator of all matters baraked it, but he did not Kodesh all peoples and nations to guard the Shabbat on it, but Yasharel alone. They alone he permitted to eat and drink and to guard the Shabbat thereon on the earth. And the Creator all matters barak this day, which he had created for a baraka, and a kodashah, and an esteem above all days. This Torah and witness was given to the children of Yasharel as a law forever unto their generations. So that was Jubilees chapter 2. Man, I mean, honestly, I could have just read I think from like verses 17. I could have read just from verse 17 all the way down to 33. But, I guess you guys didn't need to know the whole creation of the other days. It was just really about, his Shabbat, how important it really is to him. I get it. Obviously, we ain't going to be slaying one another just because we couldn't participate the Shabbat. And on top of that, we're all still trying to figure out what day it's on and stuff like that. So, I mean, this is why we have his son to give us mercy. That while we're still trying to figure it out, while we may fall short on it, knowingly or unknowingly, his grace is there through his son, that we may be corrected and continue on moving forward to figuring out the truth, figuring out the right way of doing it. I mean, he's still, how do I put it? He can see our heart trying to get it right. He sees us trying to get it right. Even if you're not, let's say, you're coming out of Christianity and this Shabbat's not on Sunday, but now you think it's on only Saturdays or only Fridays. I guess I really can't explain deeper than that, but like, I think that he's still going to have mercy and rejoicing, seeing that we're striving, trying to get it right, and that even though that's not the correct way of it, we know it's based off the moon, cycles of the moon, and stuff like that. But he's going to continue to correct us. But it brings him joy knowing that we are trying to bettering our lives of serving him. So even though he sees us falling, he still takes rejoicing of seeing that how we are coming out of religion and just trying to rebuild our relationship with him. Like for me, in my crazy mind, I'm always trying to think of me and Yah's relationship like literally like I'm his wife. Like like right now, I'm just I'm filthy with him, or not as filthy now. Trying to do. I'm always trying to do better with guarding his commands and stuff like that. Trying to resist my own desires and urges, and yeah, I mean, like today, what can I think of? Like for me right now, today is the Shabbat, and it ends once it gets dark. And today I wanted to. I mean, well, I got a group text from on WhatsApp that everyone was going to play ball today in the city, and I was like, dang, I was just about to hop up and buy my ticket and head out to the city, but I'm like, wait, it's the Shabbat. So I was like, before I used to like, internally whine and complain, which was like, what were we in September? Like 2 months ago, I used to whine and complain and be like, oh, I could still go and whatever. And I try to make excuses for myself, but it was just me, trying to follow my own will. But now it's like, oh well, whatever. Because I know when I transgress him, bad things come to me, and I'm just so tired of bad things happening to me because I chose to transgress them. I don't want to be on that bad side anymore. So I'm good. Of course, I still have, when it comes to uh, lust, right now that one's been a lot more easier because thanks to you guys, we'll praise y'all first. And I thank you guys as well for constantly reminding me, hey, fasting, man, fasting's going to help. And I always kept avoiding it at the time, but then now I'm just like, I'm just going to do it. So now fasting has helped me tremendously. And I didn't have to really do much. It's not like I'm fasting for days. I'm just not eating during the day. And I'll eat like one meal a day or something like that. But yeah, it's helped me a lot. And I mean, I I have in this strange glass bottle. I like to use glass, but it's just water and apple cider vinegar. So that kind of helps me reduce my cravings for sugar, and then with the bitter taste of the apple cider, it also helps with just abstaining from food. So that helps me. But I'm a night owl though, so that's my only problem though. That's why I eat at night. So I'm trying to change that up because I started noticing I'm getting a little belly. I was like, okay, I don't want to get fat, so I have to change it up again. Now I have to eat one meal in the day, and then the rest of my night I'm just starving. And I guess that's where I can like let my ruach really burn up to um, seek the knowledge of his word. So hopefully this video isn't too long. How long is this? 27 minutes. Oh man, I'm sorry guys. Sorry everyone, but I guess I'll cut it out from here. But pretty much the whole point of this video was about just letting you know that his Shabbat is so important to us that we just take sometimes from granted that it's not that bad. I mean, it's because we got mercy and grace covered us by Yahusha. And on top of that, when I think of it now, when people think, when we break his Shabbat, why are we not being killed because of it now and stuff like that? If it's so important to him, I just thought of it because we're not even in our homeland. Like if we were in our land, because right now we're in the land of Babylon, our captivity, second Exodus. Like, yeah, it's we're not in our homeland, so do we can't just do that there. I mean, we can't do that here. Where if we break his Shabbat, that it's certainly death. We can't do that here in this land because this isn't our homeland. But yeah, I mean, obviously, and also, his son, so giving us mercy. But the point is that we don't want to abuse grace. We don't want to abuse it. So we always have to continuously seek after the truth. Continue to keep obtaining knowledge from him, gain understanding on things, and recognize from our falsehoods. Because once I read that part, the part that had me going, oh, fiddlesticks, was the house to house. Chapter 2, verse 30. And they shall not bring in nor take out from house to house on that day. For that day is more Kodesh and Baruch than any Yobelim and day of the Yubilim on. Once I just seen I can't take from house to house, like what I would do on his Shabbat was basically, so I knew I couldn't go out. My idea of what going out was like going somewhere super far, something like that. I was just going from my grandmother's house to my cousin's house, which is like 5 minutes away. It's like one hill down, and I'm right there. They're right at the pier. So, anyways, I would go from her house. I would go from my grandma's house, head to my cousin's, hit the gym, stay there for a bit. Um, Probably grab something out of her fridge and then head back to my grandma's. I would, because it was to me like I'm not buying or selling, I'm not trading or nothing. It's just family. I'm going to their house and then that's it. Now, once I read that part about house to house, maybe I'm understanding it wrong, but how I understood it was that I can't go to her house, take their food, and then come back to my grandmother's. If that makes sense. Maybe I am misunderstanding that, but to me, I just felt like it was wrong. So until I get better clarity on it, I'm gonna just stay in whatever home I'm in, whether I'm at my cousin's or I'm at my grandmother's. I'm just gonna stay in one home for his Shabbat from evening to evening. So on that note, I think I'm done here. Hopefully, Jubilees chapter 2 helps someone out. Obviously in the later verses to about his Shabbat and how important it is to him. And when it came to the creation, hopefully that was more clarity on those who only read Genesis and never really read the extra biblical scriptures to get those little extra details. I hope everyone enjoyed watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comments. And until next time, Yah bless everyone. Thank you for watching.